This is Cash Asmussen, rider today of Plug Nickel, and at 18 years of age, in his first full year without his apprentice, he is right now the 8th leading rider in this entire nation. He's a good one. He has not been widely publicized. And Cash, come to think of it, is there any particular reason for that, you think?
No, not necessarily that I know of. I just came along to New York about 1.5 years ago, and I seemed to get lucky and be fortunate enough to ride quite a few winners, but I don't really know why. I haven't got a whole lot of press.
Tell me, what you said you came here, what is your early training? You aren't one of those that started at 16 to ride.
No, sir. My dad's a jockey and my mother's a trainer, and I've kind of been into it all my life, and I've always had, that was probably my first love, was to ride, to try to follow my dad. And he was beside me all the way, and he tried to teach me everything that he knew and teach me ways to learn things on my own, too.
Cash, all of us pros know that sometimes a rider gets some kind of a description. Velasquez, a great stretch rider. Pincay, a great strength rider. Do you think you have any particular style or just versatility?
Well, everybody's going to have a different opinion, but I'd rather not have a strictly one style, like say you want to take all your horses back or send them all to the lead. I want to try to do the right thing at the right time. Send the ones that should be sent and take the ones back that should be taken back, and be strong as Pincay and as flashy as Cordero and have as good a sense of pace as Velasquez, so to speak. I'd like to have a little bit of all of it. I'd be a little greedy, but I mean, that's still...
That's just super rider, yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to, take the best of everything that I could.
Cash, you're young, 18, and tall and thin. Do you have any weight problem yet?
Not as of yet. I guess everything's going along pretty good. I haven't been growing lately, but last year I grew a little bit, but when I lost the bug, it seemed to be fine, and I'm staying pretty even.
Do you diet?
No, just don't fill up too much, kind of watch what I eat. Don't splurge unless I'm on a vacation, I guess.
Well...
Little Lenny along the inside stumbled out of the gate. On the outside, that's Plugged Nickel and the Cool Virginian. Along the inside, there goes Dr. Patches and Little Lenny. On the rail, it's Ring of Light, then Diwan Keys, Instrument Landing, Music of Time, and Dynamic Move around the clubhouse turn. Plugged Nickel on the outside now takes the lead by 1.5 lengths. Farther out, that's Ring of Truth moving into second. Then the Cool Virginian is third by 1 length. Ring of Light on the rail in fourth by a neck. Then Dr. Patches, Music of Time, Instrument Landing, Little Lenny, Diwan Keys, 4 back. It's Dynamic Move on to the backstretch. First quarter, 24 and 2. Plugged Nickel has the lead by a neck. Ring of Truth on the outside, second by less than 1 length. The Cool Virginian in third by 1/2 length. Then Ring of Light gains on the rail in fourth. On the outside, Dr. Patches with Music of Time and Instrument Landing. 1 length back, it's Diwan Keys. 3.5 back to Little Lenny, and Dynamic Move remains in 10th. The half in 48 and 3. Continuing down the backstretch, Plugged Nickel on the rail has the lead by a little less than 1 length. On the outside, Dr. Patches with Ring of Truth, those two heads apart. Ring of Light on the rail moving up, and those three are now heads apart. Ring of Light now takes second, moving on Plugged Nickel around the far turn. But Plugged Nickel has the lead still by 2. Ring of Light in second by 1/2 length. Dr. Patches on the outside is third by 1 length. Ring of Truth in fourth, and the Cool Virginian. And on the outside, it's Dynamic Move into the stretch. Plugged Nickel extends now to a 5-length lead. Along the inside, Ring of Light is second by a neck. Dr. Patches on the outside is third and moving up. Dr. Patches now takes second. Ring of Light is third. Then Ring of Truth approaching the 16th pole. Plugged Nickel, the highweight, has the lead by 5 lengths. Dr. Patches second. Plugged Nickel in front. And at the wire, it's Cash Asmussen on Plugged Nickel, the winner by about 5. Then Dr. Patches second. A photo for third. I believe Ring of Light was third. Couple
And certainly one of the most important parts of training any horse to race is the starting gate. And any horse racing in New York has got the benefit of what I think is the finest gate crew in the country. There are 13 assistant starters, and Bob Duncan is one of them, and he's here to give us an idea of just what goes into a day's work. Just exactly what are your duties as the field moves up to load into the gate?
Well, Charlie, basically we just have to put them in the gate and make sure they're on their feet for the start. We keep a book on all the horses that run in New York, and we know the handlers and the various problems they have, the little quirks and whatnot, and we keep a record of it, give the handlers out before the race, and then we get in with the horse, handle them, communicate with the rider and the starter, and try to keep them on their feet for the start. Now, basically, most of the horses that we're handling in the afternoon require schooling in the morning. What it amounts to is they need to be settled down after breaking a number of times. Breaking is quite a traumatic experience for them, and it helps to stand them in the gate, back them out, and they get to know that every time they go in, it's not a start. I'm sure you've been there many times yourself, schooling horses, and you know the therapeutic value of it. But also in the morning, we school new horses to the gate. Horses have to be taught to break. A 2-year-old comes to the gate. He's completely unfamiliar with it. We walk him into the gate, stand him, walk him through. Gradually, it progresses to where he can break. We'll jog him out one day, gallop him out a few times, open the doors and wave him, eventually ring the bell, and finally we'll break just like in the afternoon.
It's a conditioned reaction. By repetition, they learn.
It certainly is, and contrary to popular belief, it's the doors that they break to and not the bell.
Right, exactly. Bob, tell me, often we're asked about horses who stumble leaving the gate, and you're the closest one to a horse in the gate as they break for a race. What are some of the reasons a horse will stumble and lose a rider?
Well, the track conditions will sometimes have an effect on that. What they call a cuppy track. Sometimes the track will break out from under a horse, particularly a horse that's very fast, the ground will break out from under him. And we have a device that's placed on the ground behind the horse. It's just a metal bar with a lip on it, and sometimes they'll break off it just like a starter in a race. We use starting blocks. It's very effective. Sometimes a horse that breaks very fast tends to what we call knuckling over in front, and they'll stumble 2 or 3 strides. And
that's when the rider goes. That's like sitting on the hood of a car and having someone slam on the brakes. There's nowhere to go but down.
I'm sure it's a scary feeling.
What about horses who have had a bad experience, say have gotten excited in a gate, flipped over? How much reschooling, and you mentioned the calming effect before, how long does it take to re-educate a horse like that?
Well, quite often a horse that flips in a gate scares himself so badly he never does it again. We do require them to, well, it's not, they don't have to, but we suggest they bring them up, school them, stand them and back them out. And usually the first time we do it, we keep them just a brief moment and back them out right away. The second time we'll keep them a little bit longer, and gradually they get to relax in there. And actually the rider makes quite a difference to a horse. A rider that's quiet in the gate and sits still will sometimes prevent a horse from flipping. They don't transmit that nervousness to the horse.
Yeah, but having a good gate crew work with the horse is really a big help. You saw what a good job they did getting the Stuyvesant off. Thank you, Bob Duncan, and good luck and continued success with the gate crew.
Thank you.
Mighty Nasty is now gained on the outside. They're down the stretch. Iron Verse leads by a length and a half. Mighty Nasty is getting closer in second. Happy Cannibal is now third. Then Royal Jove and Prune Do. Mighty Nasty has gained the lead. And at the wire, it's Daniel Foley on Mighty Nasty, the winner by 2. A very tight photo between Prune Do and Iron Verse for place and show positions. In the 9th race, the time on the board, 1 minute 12 and 4/5 seconds.
All right, Mighty Nasty was the winner, as Marshall accurately called it, but there was an inquiry, Steward's inquiry in this case, and he was disqualified. Now, Mighty Nasty is ridden by a very promising bug rider named Foley. He's doing well here, highly thought of, but inexperience can tell its story. Look here now as they get around the 3/16th pole. He is on the dark roan gelding. He has the orange colors, and you see him making a move here up alongside of Delay of Game. Also a gray gelding with Chris McCarran. In he lugs. An old pro rider might have kept him off. This was unintentional. The horse drifted in. Foley did not keep him off, and McCarran was badly interfered with. The stewards picked it up long before there was any need for a claim of foul, and after they ran tapes with other angles, including what you just saw now from a pan shot, they disqualified number 11, Mighty Nasty.
They're all in line. And they're off. That's Tri-Ocala going for the lead in Khartoum toward the inside second. Lewis S. along the rail is third. Magic Partner is racing fourth. Olympic Judge is fifth. Far outside, Lemon Supreme racing in sixth position. Says You is seventh. That's Lord Avi on the inside, eighth at this point. Matching Gift is ninth. And Financial Genius is the trailer as they race to the backstretch. Along the inside, it's Khartoum in front by half a length. Tri-Ocala presses the pace from the outside as they straighten away down the backstretch. First quarter in a quick 22 and 4/5 seconds. It's Khartoum on the inside. Tri-Ocala now moves alongside. Those two races a team. It's Tri-Ocala on the outside. Khartoum on the rail, heads apart. And then a gap of 6.5 lengths back to Lewis S. In third by a length and a half. Olympic Judge is fourth. Lemon Supreme moves on the outside, fifth by a head. Magic Partner is next, followed on the inside by Lord Avi. After that, it Says You. There goes the roan horse, Matching Gift, charging up quickly on the outside. Financial Genius is 10th. Now midway around the turn, Tri-Ocala has the lead all alone by some 4 lengths as Olympic Judge charges up second. There goes Says You on the outside with a rush, followed by Matching Gift fourth. Lord Avi gaining ground consistently on the inside. There's 3/16 of a mile to go. It Says You on the outside, getting to the front 3 parts of a length. Here comes Lord Avi toward the inside. Down the stretch they come. Lord Avi on the inside gets the lead by a head. On the outside, Says You second. There's 70 yards to go, and Lord Avi wins the 1980 Young America.
Fabiano to a very easy victory in the Discovery Handicap. In that race, Herbwater lost his jockey when he made a move clipping heels. Jimmy Miranda unhurt. Upsets in the Tempted Stakes for 2-year-old fillies. Albert Free Jr.'s Tina 2 held off prayers and promises who could not catch her through the stretch. In the Knickerbocker Split, 1 3/8 on the turf, soft. Forte, stablemate of Candy Eclair, shipped in town to win the first division by 2 lengths under old veteran John Ruane. In the second division of the Knickerbocker Handicap, Lobsang held off favored Match the Hatch by 3 lengths. Lobsang was carrying 111 pounds in Mike Venezia, while Match the Hatch carried 115 pounds. Upsets in both ends of the Knickerbocker Handicap. Good. Lafitte Pincay is one of a strong group of riders who came here from California, including Bill Shoemaker and Chris McCarron, to make the fall riding colony in New York the toughest ever. And Lafitte, have you ever been in a situation where the riding competition was quite so difficult?
Well, yes, many times. I usually been first, second, or third, you know, but this year it seems like it's tougher than ever.
Especially here. Have you been satisfied overall with your stay in New York?
Oh, yes, I have done pretty well. I won some races in Belmont, and I'm about third over here in the standing, and the one who's doing the better is Chris McCarron. He seems to win every race. Every horse he rides, he wins.
He's doing terrific
Yeah,
right now.
super.
Lafitte, weight watching is a kind of a national obsession, but with you, it's a matter of your career. What are some of your tricks you use to keep your weight under control?
Well, what I'll do is there are days where I eat very, very little, and I drink water. I maybe have a glass of wine once in a while. I almost completely quit drinking now, and I do a lot of exercise. I jog every morning, and I eat a lot of grains and nuts and salads and things like that.
A good example for everybody, whether you're a jockey or not. Speaking of weight, It's in the Air carries second top weight today of 118 pounds. You and she are old friends. You won the Vanity on her earlier in California, and I think she's going to run much better than she did last out over a wet track.
Yeah, she should. The last time she surprised me. She showed a lot of speed, and I couldn't rate her last time, and when she does that, she doesn't seem to finish well. I hope today she can rate. She's been doing a lot better. She's been working very good, and I think she's the best fill in the race. I'm counting that she runs a good race, that's all.
Well, we're counting on it in Lafitte. We have enjoyed so much having you here in New York. Wonderful rider and a wonderful gentleman. Good luck in
Thank
California.
You.
Yes, hearing is not that important. If you remembered last week, Charles, he talked to assistant starter Bobby Duncan, and he said that even though the bell rings, the horses break when they see the doors open. So you see a start in the afternoon, you hear the bell. The important thing is when those doors open, they react and they break. By the way, sometimes we will have a horse that it seems to be fearful of the wall of noise, as it is called, the tremendous cry of the crowd as the horses turn into the stretch, and we are allowed and sometimes do plug their ears with cotton. So obviously, hearing is not as important as seeing and running fast.
Weber City Miss goes for the early lead. On the outside, It's in the Air, then Plankton, Sugar and Spice, Lamoya, and Alada. They pass the stands now the first time. Weber City Miss has the lead by a length and a half. Plankton now takes second by a head. It's in the Air on the outside, third by a length, and Sugar and Spice, fourth by 2.5. Lamoya in fifth, and Alada is sixth. The first quarter, 24 flat, and they now enter the clubhouse turn. Weber City Miss has the lead by 3.5. Plankton second by a length. It's in the Air on the outside is third. Sugar and Spice gains a bit in fourth. And now it's in the air, and Sugar and Spice are challenging for second. They're on the backstretch. Weber City Miss has the lead by 2. It's in the air is second, gaining ground. On the outside, Sugar and Spice right there in third. Plankton back into fourth, and 8 back. It's a Lotta, followed by La Moya down the backstretch. The half, 47-4. Weber City Miss on the inside still has the lead, drawing clear again by a length. It's in the air is second by a neck. Sugar and Spice on the outside, right there in third, and Plankton is right there in fourth. They're at the half-mile pole. 3/4 won, 11-4. Weber City Miss on the rail still has the lead by a length, and now Sugar and Spice on the outside takes second. It's in the air is back into third. Plankton in fourth by 6. Then Alada and La Moya a distant 6th around the far turn. Weber City Miss continues to lead by a length and a half. Sugar and Spice on the outside is second by a length. Then it's in the air, and Plankton. They're at the top of the stretch. Weber City Miss continues to lead the way by 2.5. It's in the air, gains on the rail. Sugar and Spice, Plankton on the outside. Those 3 across the track. Those 3 moving on Weber City Miss at the 8th pole. Plankton on the far outside now joins Weber City Miss. Then it's Sugar and Spice. Weber City Miss, Sugar and Spice, and Plankton. Those 3 now race to the wire. Plankton gains the lead by a head. Here comes Sugar and Spice and Weber City Miss. Sugar and Spice. And at the wire, a blanket finish. Far too close to call. I believe Sugar and Spice the winner by a nose. That will have to be determined by the photograph. And then it was Weber City Miss and Plankton also in that photo for win, place, and show. The time on the board, 2 minutes, 3 seconds.
As they turn for home, Weber City Miss, who has led most of the way, has hung on to the lead. On the extreme left of your screen in the green is Plankton. In between them, in what looks like pink but is the devil's red, is Sugar and Spice. And on the rail is in the air, and here they come. A tremendous drive, Chelsea, and these good riders, Asmussen on the outside, Cordero in between, and Chris McCarron on Weber City Miss are going all out. Look at these fine fillies finish.
This is as close a finish as you can ask for it. Right here, it still looks like Weber City Miss might hang on, but Plankton's going strongly, and Sugar and Spice, that winds up being the battle between the 2 of them. It was really just the bob of a head that separated those 2 at the wire. And, of course, Weber City Miss and Plankton both carrying top weight, Sugar and Spice splitting them with 114 pounds. A real credit, as we say to Lenny Hale.
Now, whether you could call it at the wire, I don't know. I miscalled it. They finished 1, 2, 3, 4, which made Plankton the winner, and the middle horse, Sugar and Spice, second. And on the inside third, Weber City Miss.
They're off. They come away from the gate. Hashi Karansu along the inside races to a 3-length lead. Upon the outside, Anifa coming on. The Very One is third. Great Neck along the rail in 4th place. It's True 5th. Buck Point on the outside. Then it's Ivanov. Down along the inside, Ben Fab. And Argument. They move on around the turn. Showing the way, Hashi Karansu. The outside, Anifa in 2nd place. The Very One racing third. Great Neck along the rail. Buck Point up on the outside. It's True between horses. The outside, Ivanov. Then it's Ben Fab and Argument. They pass the stands for the first time up on the outside. Buck Point. Down along the inside, Hashi Karusu. They race on to the clubhouse turn, and it's Buck Point showing the way. Anifa now in 2nd place. Hashi Karansu down along the inside, and the outside, Ivanov moving up. The Very One between horses, down along the inside. They continue around the turn, going to the backstretch. Buck Point showing the way. On the outside, Ivanov coming on. Anifa, It's True rushing up on the outside. Then it's Great Neck. Ashi Karansu down along the rail, the very one. Then it's Argument way on the outside. It's Ben Fab. They bunch up down the backstretch. Even Oz taking a slight lead. Down along the inside, Buck Point. It's True coming on along with Anifa right between horses. They race on to the far turn. Evenall has the lead. Rushing up on the outside, it's Ben Fab. It's True right between them. They move on around the turn. It's True coming on between horses. Ben Fab on the outside. Evenall along the rail. Three of them right there as they come to the top of the stretch. A quarter of a mile to go. It's True between horses. Evenall along the rail. Ben Fab on the outside. Argument coming on along with the very one. They straighten away. It's True up on the outside. Argument coming on. The very one on the outside. Evenall along the rail. Ben Fab coming on down to the 16th pole. Argument has the lead. Evenall is second. The very one on the outside coming on to the wire. Argument in front.
And there she is on the rail with that white face, Genuine Risk, surging back under Lafitte Pincay to wrest victory from Smart Angle nearest the camera in a brilliant finish. She won the Demoiselles that day. She won the Derby on the first Saturday of May this year. Kind of weather, and the weather was a contributing factor to the eventual disqualification of Accurary. Here you see him in front, but bearing out badly. He bothered both Pleasant Colony and Foolish Tanner in so bearing out. Eddie Maple, as you will see in another shot, is hitting right-handed, trying to keep him in, but Woody Stevens thinks that the unusual darkness, the flashing of lights on the odd board, and maybe some birds flushed by all the excitement caused this usually well-behaved colt to bear out badly. Now here is the Steward's shot, the head-on shot, and as you see Accurary in front, not being hit left-handed, trying hard as Eddie Maple to keep him straight, but he goes out and out and out and bothers both Pleasant Colony and Foolish Tanner. He was disqualified and placed third for this infraction, which of course made Pleasant Colony the winner, Foolish Tanner second, and Accurary third by Steward's placings in Sunday's Rempson. He finished way off the rail, still running. And this is Tuesday's feature race, the First Flight Handicap. And Candy Eclair, the fast gray filly, had shown the pace most of the way, but she surrendered into the stretch as along the rail, Smarta Dancer came on to take over the lead and become the winner of this very fashionable and meaningful stake. Jadina and Damask Fan took place in show in a strong finish, and the early pace setter, Candy Eclair, faded to 5th place. And that was Tuesday, Veterans Day feature, the First Flight Handicap. And the winner, Smarta Dancer by...
They're off. Along the inside, that's Prayers and Promises. Peaceful Native on the far outside between those two. Tina 2. Then Rainbow Connection, followed by Carolina Command and Adela Rose into the clubhouse turn. Peaceful Native has attained the lead by a length. Then on the outside, Tina 2, and Prayers and Promises moving up as a team on the leader. Around the clubhouse turn. Peaceful Native still has the lead by a half length. Now Prayers and Promises second by a neck. Tina 2 on the outside is third by 3. Rainbow Connection in fourth by a length and a half. Then Carolina Command is fifth by 2, and Della Rose remains in sixth. The first quarter in 24 and 2, they're down the back stretch. Peaceful Native has the lead by a length. Then Prayers and Promises second by a neck. On the outside, Tina 2 is third by 2. Then Rainbow Connection remains in fourth. Carolina Command still in fifth, and Della Rose is sixth. The half and 48 flat. Peaceful Native on the rail still has the lead, continues to lead by a length. Prayers and Promises second by a head. Tina 2 on the outside, still in third by a length and a half. And Rainbow Connection remains in fourth. Now Prayers and Promises moving on Peaceful Native. Prayers and Promises now takes the lead by a neck. Tina 2 also gains in second. And here comes Rainbow Connection. They're approaching the top of the stretch. Prayers and Promises on the rail. Rainbow Connection on the outside. Tina 2 is third there in the stretch. Rainbow Connection now takes the lead, going clear by 2. Now Della Rose has moved into second. Tina 2 is third, then Prayers and Promises. They're down the stretch. Rainbow Connection still leads by a length, but Della Rose is gaining on the rail. Tina 2 is third. Rainbow Connection has the lead by a length. Della Rose is second, but gaining. Rainbow Connection on the outside. And at the wear, very tight, far close. Maybe it was Rainbow Connection the winner by a head. Della Rose second, and Tina 2 third. In the 8th race, the Demoiselles Stakes here at Aqueduct. The time on the board, 1 minute 50 and 4/5 seconds.
Emmanuel Rodriguez asks this week's winning question, and the expert to answer it is our in-house doctor of horse prediction, Harvey Pack. And Mr. Rodriguez's question is, in the case of a dead heat in a triple race, would he get 2 payoffs?
Well, in the event that you buy a box, $6 box or a $12 box, you've won 2 times. So he would get 2 triples.
There'd be 2 payoffs.
Sure, there'd be 2, and he would own 2 because he had 6. When you buy a box, you've bought 6 triples. So therefore, 2 of them are now winners. So he gets 2 winning triples.
Thank you. Now I'm going to take advantage of having Harvey here and ask him another question. I'm passing this one along, Harvey. I was outside getting my daily racing form, and one of the incoming fans wanted to know, was it too late to get into your handicapping contest?
Well, it's he had today and he has tomorrow. The way the contest works is we run 4 days, individual contests all 4 days. The top 10 people in money accumulation are invited back to the big shootout, a 2-weekend shootout for the $10,000 and the title, #1 in New York, which is a great title because that's #1 in the world if you're a handicapper. Now, tomorrow is the last day, the final contest. So anybody listening can come out tomorrow and take a pop. The way we do it, you get a mythical, and I use the word mythical because we're not Christmas, a mythical $500, and you get a card. You must bet all 9 races, win only. You must bet $20 on each race minimum. You must make 1 $200 bet, and you have to bet the entire $500. So it requires planning and strategy. Obviously, you don't bet 200 on a 2 to 5 shot. What you do is you sit and you look at your form and you make your selections. Pick a horse you think will be between 5 and 10 to 1. Hope he goes off 15 to 1 and hope he wins it. For example, last weekend, $3,700 was number 10, virtually around that number both days. That means they took their 500 and they ran up to 3,700. They were long shots. If the day runs where the biggest price of the day is $10, naturally a smaller number will win. But the idea is to go with the big priced horses and make a lot of money, and then we'll see you at the big shootout in December.
I'd like to try it. Will you promise not to publish the results if
I promise you won't make it.
My record would indicate that.